Good afternoon and welcome to the 10th meeting of the Honolulu Liquor Commission. Please silence all of your electronic devices. If you're appearing here today, please come forward, introduce yourself and your client, and spell your name for the Commission's reporter. And if you're here to testify on any matter, please come forward, be sworn in by Ms. Harai, and identify yourself and spell your name for the Commission's reporter. At this time, I'd like to recognize Mr. Brandon Gonzalez. Brandon is from the Hawaii County Liquor Control, and he's an observer here in the big city. Okay, so moving into the public hearing, calling agenda item number 1, transfer application number 19-16505 from Let's Do This Market LLC. Okay, Mr. Shinshado is running late, so we will move this to the end of the public hearing. Move on to agenda item number 2, application number 19-15888 from Pacific Suites LLC. Mr. Uyoka.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the Commission, Mr. Rai, Robert Uyoka on behalf of Redfish Poke Bar by Foodland. Present to my right, Mr. Sean Tateno. He is the area manager. First name S-H-A-W-N, last name T-A-T-E-N-O. At this time, we have nothing to add to the investigative report.
Thank you very much. Ms. Harai.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. This application has received 0 written protests, 0 letters in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to testify for or against this application? Seeing none, Commissioners?
Motion to approve application number 19-15888. Second.
Been moved in second. All those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 2, application number 19-15888 is approved.
Thank you.
Mr. Shinshado, are you ready? It's number 1.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Ross is number 1, right?
Yes, but get number 3 since they're,
We have the same?
Yeah.
same people
Okay,
for 3.
excuse me, thank you for the help. Calling agenda item number 3, application number 19-16159 from Pacific Suites LLC.
Robert Uyoka on behalf of Redfish Poke Bar by Foodland. Present to my right, Mr. Sean Tateno, area manager. At this time, we have nothing to add to the investigative report.
Thank you. Ms. Harai.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. This application has received 0 written protests, 0 letters in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to testify for or against this application? Seeing none, Commissioners?
Okay, motion to approve application number 19-16159. Second.
Been moved in second. All those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 3, application number 19-16159 is approved.
Thank you so much.
No wonder you never give up your seat, Mr. Uyoka. Let's move back to agenda item number 1. Agenda item number 1, transfer application number 19-16505 from Let's Do This Market.
Good afternoon, Commissioners and Chair. Sorry for my tardiness. Ross Shinsato.
No problem. We're
Authorized
all on
agent.
the windward side are in the same boat, sir. One road in and out.
Authorization for Let's Do This Market LLC. We would ask for a continuance, the next available. Applicant is unable to make it today.
Very good, thank you.
We will need to continue to a date certain. Would you be able, would you like to designate a date and
Yes, ma'am.
you need to continue to a date certain?
2 weeks.
We don't have a
October
meeting,
9th?
we don't have a meeting that week.
Yeah, that's right. The 26th or, either the 26th or the 10th, October 10th.
26 is fine.
May I have a motion?
Sure, motion to continue, transfer application number 19-16505 to September 26th. Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 1, transfer application number 19-16505 is continued to September 26, 2019. Moving down, thank you, Mr. Shinsato. Moving down to agenda item number 4, Application number 19-16041 from General Pearl Ridge LLC.
Yes, Chair, due to a conflict, I'm going to have to recuse myself from.
Thank you, Commissioner Lee. Mr. Nakoba.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, Devin Koba, representing Jim Korean, Pearl Ridge LLC. To my right is seated Conan Pike Rosa, P-A-I-K-R-O-S-A. He's the GM.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have you had an opportunity to review the investigator's
Yes.
report? Do you have any comments?
No, sir.
Thank you, very good. Ms. Harai?
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. This application has received 0 written protests, 0 letters in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to testify for or against this application? Seeing none, Commissioners?
Okay, motion to approve, application number 19-16041.
Second.
Been moved in second. All those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 4, application number 19-16041 is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. May we have Commissioner Lee back? Moving into the special license application, agenda items number 5, application number 20-20156-1 and 20-20156-11 inclusive from IREM LLP. Mr. Luke.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. To my right is Jason Wong, he's a general manager for RREM with a record effect in Wayne Lake, Wisconsin. We have no changes to the investigator's report. For the record, they did operate these premises last year.
Very good. Commissioners, do you have any questions? This is for a Halloween theme bar.
Were there any issues last year, Mr. Luke?
No issues.
And I do see in your application that minors will be allowed in the premises, correct?
Correct.
Okay, how do you intend to ensure that no sale or service to minors occurs?
So we'll be doing 2 different things. We have security in the front daily, and we're gonna be issuing different colored cups to those over 21 and those under 21, and IDs will be checked once at the door and then also at the bartender line, service
Okay.
line.
And then seeing that this is a Halloween themed bar, what's the lighting gonna be like? Sometimes it gets really dark.
I
in
understand
the-
that it could be like a really dark, but I mean, it's not gonna be to the point where you can't see and you walk your way through. It's enough ambient lighting to kind of be able to check
Okay,
for things or if that's true.
okay, and what about costumes? If, you know, if some people come in mask and things like that?
They're gonna have to be removed to confirm,
Okay,
to check,
thank you,
because that is a thing.
thank you.
Okay, motion to approve application number 20-20156 to 20-20156-11.
Second.
Been moved in second. All those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 5, application number 20-20156-1 through 20-20156-11 are approved.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Is approved, are approved. Agenda item number 6, application number 20-20445 from Haleiwa Arts Festival. This is for a fundraiser, Commissioners, at Aloha Tower Marketplace.
Aloha, my name is Kathleen Ells. I'm the executive director for the past 14 years for the Haleiwa Arts Festival.
And Joseph Ho with Mystical Sounds Productions.
Thank you very much. Commissioners?
So this is a fundraiser for Haleiwa Arts Festivals, but you folks are holding it here in town. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. What kind of fundraiser is it gonna be?
So basically, we're gonna donate a portion of the proceeds to their fundraiser nonprofit.
Is it gonna be a concert?
No, it's just gonna be a DJ event.
DJ event?
Yeah.
What kind of DJs are you gonna have?
Local DJs.
Right. And what percentage of the proceeds are gonna be going to the nonprofit?
$1,000.
Ms. Ellis, you're in charge of, Haleiwa Arts Festival.
Just saying.
I'm assuming that you had read the statement of understanding, that outlines the conditions of the services.
Yes, I have.
So for $1,000, you understand that you're responsible for this entire event
Yes,
and all books
yes,
and everything to that extent.
I do.
I see that you have on your floor plan, there's gonna be some restrooms that are included in the licensed area and some restrooms that were gonna be outside of the licensed area, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so how do you plan on controlling that? Because you understand that no alcoholic beverages can go outside of the licensed premises? And
yes.
also that within restrooms, it's very difficult to, impossible to monitor
So
alcohol?
basically, we let them know it's gonna be a no refund, no reentry, policy. So if they do decide to go out, they have to pay again to come in, because we do have men's and women's restroom inside the dedicated area.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're gonna allow people to bring their beverages inside of the restrooms that are located inside the licensed premises?
Yeah, those are portable restaurants.
And are there going to, is this a 21 and over only event?
Only 21 and over, correct.
Do you have experience, or are you planning on hire experienced personnel
We
to
do.
check IDs?
We have 10 HPD that we plan, and we're also hiring Rain Hawaii Security with Tony and Christy Le'Ato for our security. And we also have one Harbor Patrol that we plan to hire.
And I'm sure you're aware this is part of the Hawaii Pacific University campus,
Yes.
which is an international university. So your personnel is prepared to check passports and international IDs?
Yes. Tony has done many events at HPU, and so he's very experienced, and he's approved by HPU.
Thank you.
What's your plan if someone attends a costume? I assume there's gonna be a lot of costume customers or patrons?
Everyone has to take off the mask.
What if there's face paint?
If there's face mask, I mean,
No,
face paint. So that's at the call of Tony, and I asked him about that. He's done many Halloween events, so he said he has experience, and you could tell by the weight, by the look of the facial. So that's what he told me. So I'm going to go with the security judgment, whatever they say.
I question that judgment because there's lots of instances where someone presents an ID without mask or face paint and they aren't who the picture purports to be. So I am
So
concerned
if
about,
there's any,
I'm
if
very
there's
concerned
any
about that.
judgment call, I told him don't take any chances. We don't need to take any chances.
And what do you mean by that?
Basically, I did inform him to let his security know if they don't feel comfortable with matching the ID, don't let him in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me just make one comment. Ms. Elms?
Yes.
Okay, so you realize one violation eats up your entire profit. Realize that, huh?
I do.
And you would be responsible if there were additional violations.
Yes.
Just understand that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, commissioners, any further questions or type of action?
Okay, motion to approve application number 20-20445.
Second?
Moved in second. All those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 6, application number 20-20445 is approved. Good luck.
Thank you.
Calling agenda item number 7, application number 20-20448 from Powwow, Hawaii.
Good afternoon. Zach Diana. Yes. McGaldy. All everyone else introduce themselves.
Ciao.
Okay.
Sorry.
Please introduce yourself. You can go
Greg Johnson
left
of
to right or
Events
right to
International.
left, whatever.
Sorry, Greg Johnson, Vice President of Events International. Rick Schneider says hello. He's in Boston at ACLU meetings.
Kumeah Hadar, one of the founders of Powwow.
Zachary Diano, one of the founders of Festa Italiana.
You, sir? You have the nationality split on each side of the table. Very good. Very good. Okay, Commissioners, this is for the annual Fiesta Italiana Hawaii.
Okay. So gentlemen, I looked up the event and it seems like a really good event. It appears to be a really good event. I had several questions. Based on looking at last year's event, this year you have a VIP feature. Is that correct?
Correct. It's the same setup that we had the last 2 years, just a different warehouse on Cook Street owned by Kamehameha Schools.
Okay, so I just wanted to clarify, so the VIP experience, that is being hosted specifically only within that warehouse? It's not within the streets where people walking around? Can you explain to me about the VIP experience?
Absolutely. It takes place at 449 Cook Street, and then there's an overflow area like we did last year that will be cattle gated off, and then we've doubled our security this year, so that way we have security presence not only at the threshold of the VIP where they're checking IDs, but also inside the area, walking around. So I believe the footprint should show that there's a little bit of an overflow area, just because the warehouse gets really, really hot. And there's a set number of tickets that we're selling, so it's not just, once we reach our threshold, then that's it, 350.
So the exhibit that I'm looking at covers, is it covering, your license is asking to cover the entire street as well?
That might have been something that, working with Rick, I was working with it, he might have been more inclusive, because at the time we were trying to figure out, and we decided to really shrink down the footprint. So not use that whole space, really use just the space in front of the warehouse, so that the overflow occurs just directly in front of the warehouse.
Okay, so I guess the question would be to you, Greg, yeah?
Yes, you're asking about the VIP section or the
Right,
overall liquor
asking-
license?
This diagram
Right.
here shows the whole entire
Correct.
street and everything. So can you clarify what the license area is gonna be on? Is it that or is it just this?
No, it's the entire footprint with the red line around it.
So we're doing the streets as well?
Correct. Because it
Okay.
is the overall the festival, street festival itself for the general population that anybody can attend. The only VIP section is the 449 warehouse and the overflow, which is outside on the Diamond Head side. If you look out, you see the 64-foot line behind that. That's into the alley behind 449. So that's what he's referring to as the overflow.
So when
The
I
outdoor area.
looked at last year's event, I didn't see any barriers that, and maybe I missed it, but is the entire footprint here gonna be closed in because?
We do have safety systems booked for this. Honestly, I'm stepping in and don't know all the parameters of this, but I know we've done hundreds and hundreds of events similar to this, so yes.
May I clarify?
Yes.
Yes,
So,
please.
I think there is a discrepancy, and I want to acknowledge that there's a red line that goes the entire length of Cook Street. That is not what we're going to require. Since we've submitted the application, our footprint of where alcohol is going to be served in the fenced-off area is significantly smaller.
Okay, that's
It's
what I
just-
wanna know.
Yes.
That's what I'm looking at.
It's the
Excuse
warehouse
me.
that you pointed up
Yes.
on the second diagram, and it's the space in front of the warehouse on the street. That will all be cattle gated off or crowd control barriered off.
Okay.
And the entrance will be through that and then flow into the warehouse. But we will not require coverage on the entire Cook Street.
Very good.
In fact, the road barrier is going right up to the entrance of 449. So we've adjusted that retroactively with city and county to allow for local access into the Old Fisher parking lot to accommodate local tenants.
So just so clarification, this is all gonna remain on public property now, this license?
It-
And, or are you gonna require any sort of approval from the
We've already
DTS, or you already approved?
Yeah, I think we've already submitted our approved
Okay.
street permit.
Point of order, please. Can we hear from supervising license Daniel Sato, please?
Yeah.
Come on in, join us.
Supervising Investigator Daniel Sato.
Okay, can you clarify for the commission the license premises?
So we didn't receive any revised drawings from the applicant,
So please understand that what we approve is what's gonna be your licensed premises. So if you don't want this to be your licensed premises, you need to submit a revised drawing to the commission prior to your event so that our investigators can know where exactly your licensed premises starts and ends.
Yeah, we also don't have a copy of any, street closure permit in our packet. But if you are not planning to go on the streets as part of your permit and remain on private streets, then we won't need that.
I checked the DOT website, they are approved for a street use permit, I just don't know how big it is.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we would like those details provided so that we can, so our investigators know the details of your event.
Yep. But just to clarify, whatever is in the current maps, it will be significantly smaller, the actual liquor license space. So
For us to approve, we have to have it in front of us.
Right, but when I submit that, I just want to just say it on the record that it is going to be smaller, and we'll follow with supplemental documents immediately that demonstrates that.
Thank you.
So we would appreciate you getting that information in. Event is next week Saturday, correct?
We can get it in right after this meeting.
Yeah, right. Just to clarify. Thank you.
Suggestion that Commissioner Lee made is we could probably recess the item and just continue it to the end till they get their proper ducks in line, and then we can make a decision at this meeting.
Yep.
I'm fine
Since
with
it's
that.
next week.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Is that agreeable?
Can you guys revise this drawing?
We have the revision, we just need to print it out, and
Okay.
so we'll find a place to do that.
Okay, why
ASAP.
don't we do that, right? So let's continue, agenda item number 7, application number 20-20448 to later in the agenda, right? Okay, very good, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Is there any other questions or?
Actually, I have
Just
a
wanna make sure
question on
before-
your security plan generally, what do you guys plan on doing?
We do have HPD special duty officers, we do have our security team to check IDs, and issue wristbands to those that are 21 and over to make sure that they are properly checked. And then there are HPD special duty officers on the property, on the perimeter.
What's the head count?
Good question, I don't know the answer.
Head count for the
3,000?
event,
What
at
do we
any
look-
given point, about 3,000
No,
people.
head count for your special duty.
Oh.
I think it's at least 8 or 10.
Yeah.
We submitted the document and already, I can print that out as well and submit
Why
it.
don't you folks clarify that, and then when you come back, when we recall the matter, if you could let us know. And
Yeah.
also, if you guys have private security, if you let us know the head count. Thank you.
Understanding that you're filling in for Mr. Snyder, but that's valuable information that we need before we go ahead and approve the license.
Yeah, I apologize, I thought I had the proper
Security
information.
plan, number of
Yeah.
HPD, special duty officers. We're not just gonna allow anybody to go out on the streets and have a party.
If you could, on your plans as well, kind of describe where you will be serving and whatnot, if it's gonna be held just as a 449 space, kind of what's going on.
Understood.
A little.
We'll make it,
Something.
I understand the question.
Yep, thank
I
you.
thought I had the proper.
Okay, we'll see you later on in the agenda, right? Okay,
So,
Sure.
proper clarification, sorry.
no problem.
Just to be clear, okay, I'm getting confused here. My understanding is the VIP area is only 350 tickets.
Correct.
Correct? And that's the only area that we're concerned with, is the 350 tickets within that area.
That's one area where alcohol will be served. There's another area on Pohukaina, which, again, the map that I submit when we continue, will show the beer garden, which is, again, a 21 and over area. It's
Okay.
not a VIP area, but it is, you have to be ID'd to enter that area. And that's just an area, a 21 and over area for the general public. That's
Okay.
21 and over.
Closed off.
Closed off, cattle.
Controlled.
Okay, so I'm more
areas.
concerned about
You're
that
right.
area because this area is easier to control. On your VIP side, it's my understanding the VIP side is only gonna be from 6 to 9 anyways, within that area. And then you have, VIPs get 6 2-ounce wine pours.
Correct.
Is that part of that's part of the package, right, the ticket with it,
Correct.
right? So on that side, it's also my understanding that only in that area, the VIPs only can be 21 and over, so ID checkers and all that other stuff, there's precautionary there, but the
We can show that to Commissioner Miyashiro's request about the security plan, and I'll also submit, when we continue, the HPD form that we've already submitted, and it has the number of officers. I just need to print it out.
Okay, okay, and then where they're gonna be situated on the floor plan, that type of stuff, right?
Well, HPD doesn't give us their positioning of where they situate. They show
But
up
your
in-
ID checkers and
Right,
your
our ID, our
security,
private
yes,
security
the
certainly,
ones that
yes.
you guys can control.
Yes, absolutely.
And the other thing too is that on the 21, since it's 21 and over, and I know that it's prepaid tickets, on that specific issue, when they're bringing in tickets, I'm assuming that you're checking the ID with the ticket as well. You're not just taking the ticket for face value,
Yep,
right?
there's actually two ID checkpoints. There's a registration tent where people have to check in to get their tickets. They'll be ID'd there by personnel. Then they walk into the VIP area, and then there's 2 security guards that they get their IDs checked there as well.
Okay, all right. So we'll see you later.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, calling agenda item number 8, transfer application number 19-16532 from Pacific Gray Inc. Ms. Wu.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm Min Young on behalf of Pacific Gray Inc., DBA Sunny Mart. On my right is the Sharon Gray, President. No changes to the report.
Thank you very much. Commissioners?
Motion to approve transfer application number 19-16532.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 8, transfer application number 19-16532 is approved. Calling agenda item number 9, transfer application number 19-16592 from Three Brothers Market Corporation. Mr. Luke.
Yes, to my right is Mohammed Al-Ali. Mohammed. Not used to made a record reflect where he looked as counsel. There are no changes to the investigator's report.
Mr. Carr, do you have the proper?
Yeah.
Thank you.
yes.
Okay. Commissioners?
Good. Okay, a motion to approve transfer application number 19-16592.
Second.
Been moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 9, transfer application number 19-16592 is approved. Thank you, gentlemen. It's O'Donnell, not McDonald, so I know how you feel. Calling agenda item number 10, application number 19-16093 from Hawaii HIS Corporation, DBA Waikiki Club Lounge. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Chikanko Elgin for Hawaii HIS Corporation, DBA Waikiki Club Lounge.
My name is Matsumi Nakamura. I'm the authorized agent.
Very good. Commissioners, do you have any questions or type of action? Duty-free area, right?
Yeah.
Can't get in without a passport and a ticket.
All right, motion to approve application number 19-16093.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 10, application number 19-16093 is approved.
Thank you,
Good luck. Calling agenda item number 11, application number 19-16673 from Longstrom Store. Mr. Chu.
Good afternoon, Chair O'Donnell, members of the commission. Administrator Harai, Newton Chu on behalf of the applicant, Long's Drug Stores, California LLC, doing business as Long's Drugs, number 7107. To my right, Christopher Kamei, Assistant District Manager for Long's Drugs. I do have an update to the report. Happy to announce that store number 34 was issued its license this week. And so it says 33 stores in Hawaii. There's store number 10740 on Haleakala Street over here on Ward. Will have its grand opening on October 20th.
Whoa, Mr. Chu, let's stick to the
No, it's an update, you guys.
This is not commercial time for long.
I mean, we do like it there.
I just want to update your record on page 5.
I can pull out my key and show you my CVS card, please.
So ours is a little outdated.
Well,
than you're
just
saying.
Yeah.
on page 5, you can add
For the
that store
record.
number.
It's duly noted for the record, Mr.
For the
Chu.
record.
Okay.
I want the record to be
Thank you so much, Mr. Chu. Commissioners, do you have any further questions or a type of action
Yes, good.
from the gentleman from the Big Island?
Okay. Motion to approve application number 19-16673.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 11, application number 19-16673 is approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Calling agenda item number 12, application number 19-16776 from HSI Honolulu Joint Venture Company. Mr. Uyoka.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the Commission, Ms. Surai, Robert Uyoka on behalf of HSI Honolulu Joint Venture Company. We're affiliated with HMS Host. Present to my right, Mr. Rick Jowart. He is the Director of Food and Beverage of HMS Host. First name R-I-C-K, last name J-A-U-E-R-T. At this time, we have nothing to add to the investigator's report.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, do you have any questions?
Yes.
Vice Chair Ganamon.
Mr. Uyoka,
Yes.
is that the first that I'm seeing we have a 15-by-10 dance floor at the airport?
Just flexibility. Mainly we wanted to do maybe Hawaiian entertainment and hula dancer, so we just wanted some flexibility to have that. So we're not going to have a nightclub. I can say it on the record, we
Okay.
will not have a nightclub. It's strictly for entertainment and the flexibility for a hula dancer, just for clarification. Happy to clarify.
I thought it was an error, but no, thank you for clarifying.
You're not supposed to leave your luggage unattended.
Exactly.
No dancing.
Exactly. No dancing. We're not intend to have a nightclub at all.
Yes, sir. Okay, motion to approve, application number 19-16776.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 12, application number 19-16776 is approved.
Thank you.
Remember, Mr. Uyoka, there's no sleeping in the lounge. It's a violation. Calling agenda item number 13, application number 19-16777 from HSI Honolulu Joint Venture Company.
Robert Uyoka on behalf of HSI Honolulu Joint Venture Company. Present to my right, Mr. Rick Jowart. He is the Director of Food and Beverage of HMS Host. On this matter, we do have one revision to the investigator's report. We submitted an amended floor plan for an additional dining area. I have 15 right here, and it's 466 square feet. We submitted on September 5th, but it wasn't in the report. I contacted the investigator asking if they were going to do an amended report, but I'm not sure it was prepared for the commission or not. But I do have 15 identical copies of the additional dining area.
Can we hear from licensing supervisor Sato, please?
Supervising Investigator Daniel Sato. We will be doing a supplemental.
So Mr. Uyoka has represented the facts.
This is our first time hearing it, but we will
This
be.
is a prelim.
Yeah.
Okay. You'll see it, yeah, you'll see it at public with
At
the
public hearing,
supplemental,
very
yes.
good. Thank you. Okay. Commissioners, do you have a question?
Okay, Mr. Uyoka.
Yes.
Can you, make the same clarification on this dance floor as well?
Absolutely, dance floor. We will not have dancing. If anything, No customer dancing. If anything, it'll be a hula dance or entertainer with music, Hawaiian type music, tourist music. Welcome people to Hawaii.
Okay, motion to approve application number 19-16777.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 13, application number 19-16777 is approved.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Calling agenda item number 14, application number 19-16803 from Island Oishi LLC. Mr. Lee.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. Terry Lee, authorized representative counsel for the applicant. I apologize, Mr. Haney could not be here this afternoon because he's catering the Hawaii 5-0 and Magnum PI event on the beach. So he sent me in his stead.
Okay, I think we can
You're an
accommodate.
authorized agent.
I am an
for-
authorized
oh,
agent,
well,
yeah,
then we can
and no
proceed.
changes to the investigative report.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
Commissioner, do you have any further questions or type of action?
Okay, motion to approve application number 19-16803.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 14, application number 19-16803 is approved.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Mr. Lee. Calling agenda item number 15, application number 19-16806 from United Sake Company Ltd. Mr. Luke.
To my right is Takashi Hiroshi, one of the officers. He is present with Counsel Wayne Luke. We have no changes to the supplemental report. After our first meeting, Mr. Hiroshi met with the staff and they came up with this plan to satisfy the questions that were raised in the beginning and also the problem about being next door to an unlicensed premise. And that's the way the plan is, as is now.
Thank you very much. Commissioners? So is that exhibit A and?
A and B,
A
one was his.
and B? The letter got cut off of mine, I'm assuming that's a B. Commissioner Lee?
Are you good, Commissioner?
So you actually extended your premise a little and
No, we cut it down, actually. We cut the driveway down in half.
I mean, you eliminated the back area, correct?
The back
Or
area.
just,
Yeah.
Yeah, so we put that in the rear.
so this hasn't been actually constructed yet? Because it looks like you're altered, I mean, it's a bit different from,
We have some work to do, yeah. But that's how they plan to do it.
this is gonna be exhibit.
two areas connected, Mr. Luke?
Which two areas?
So you have delineated on your supplemental report, you have this unit C or net sake manufacturing in unit C, and then you have this other area which looks to be across a courtyard or something, which is the actual service or bar area.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And they're not connected.
It's got simplified. So it's actually
This
this.
is very confusing.
Yeah, so it's actually this space now.
They're not
And then you got rid of the back.
Okay. So
No
unit,
courtyard rooms.
so this area has been taken out, and it's just this area that we're looking at now, as the licensed premises?
Yes, that's part of the, yeah, area.
So yeah, the back area
Yes.
is out of there. Okay.
Back area is all,
Okay.
completely out.
Because they moved the washer dryer and all of that.
That was the other,
Yeah.
it belonged to somebody else, and we got that taken care of.
You guys good? Very good?
As long as the architect's okay with it.
Commissioner Lee is okay. Okay, so motion to approve application number 19-16806.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 15, application number 19-16806 is approved. Mr. Luke, let's take agenda item number 32 out of order. This is request number 20-20422 from United Sake Company.
May the record reflect Wayne Lucas Council, may we have that request withdrawn, because we have taken care of the matter.
Thank you very much. Commissioner?
Motion to withdraw request number 20-20422.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 32 is withdrawn.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Gentlemen.
Okay, let's move on to agenda item number 16. Application number 19-1683232 from Uncle's New York Pub and Grill, LLC. Ladies, Ms. Cole.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Naomi Cole on behalf of the applicant. Present to my right is owner Kelly Nascarella. That's spelled Nascarella. We have no changes to the investigative report.
Very good. Commissioners?
Motion to approve application number 19-16832.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 16, application number 19-16832 is approved. Moving into the license applications, temporary license application, agenda item number 17, application number 20-20230 from Fogra LLC. Ms. Cole. No, Ms. Wu, I'm sorry. You were sitting down, so I just glanced up and.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm Min Young-woo on behalf of Fogra LLC. On my right is the member, Yong-ho Park, YONGHOPARK. No changes to the report.
Thank you very much. Commissioners?
Okay, motion to approve temporary application number 20-20230.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 17, application number 20-20230 is approved.
Thank you.
Good luck. Calling agenda item number 18, application number 20-20337 from Kono Restaurant LLC. Mr. Luke. Good night for building this.
Yes, may the record reflect Wayne Luke as the attorney and authorized representative for the applicant. There are no changes to the investigator's report, and if it is granted, we would like a starting date of October 21st.
Mr. Luke, I'm looking at the personal history and affidavit of your
Yes.
clients, and I see that there are, looks like to be mechanics and
Yes.
electricians.
They are
Do they have
keeping-
experience in running
They
a
are
restaurant?
keeping all the employees
Okay.
who wants to stay, because one of the problems with this premise is the cooks and some of them want to retire, but all the bar people and the managers will be.
Okay, and this is the former Kabuki restaurant in Aiea, correct?
It's still there, yeah.
Oh, okay. Mr. Wally.
The only thing gonna be lost, I guess, is the delicatessen in the morning.
Ah.
That's a big loss.
Okay.
Killing me, Mr. It's a deal breaker. Better
Tell the
talk
cooks
to
to
them.
train somebody
Well, the
else.
problem is that, you know, a lot of the family has been
Okay,
Let's
so
go
they,
back to-
so they do have employees that are
all of them.
experienced.
They're keeping everybody who wants to be.
Okay, terrific, terrific.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Right.
Okay, where we going, gang?
We're good?
Yeah, we're okay.
Let's go to Ponos.
Motion to approve temp application number 20-20337 with an effective date of October 21st.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 18, application number 20-20337 is approved, effective October 21st, 2019.
Thank you, Mr. Lu.
Calling agenda item number 19, application number 20-20361 from Crave LLC. Mr. Lee.
Good afternoon, Chairman O'Donnell, Commissioners Desarai, James H.Q. Lee, appearing for applicant Crave LLC. To my right is Mr. Chang Hoon Park, sole member and managing member of Crave LLC. There are no corrections to the report.
Thank you very much. Commissioners?
Okay, motion to approve temp application number 20-20361.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 19, application number 20-20361 is approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Calling agenda item number 20, application number 20-20481 from Sodexo America LLC. Gentlemen?
Ladies and gentlemen, Patrick Baugh, B-A-U-G-H, General Manager and Authorized Agent for Sodexo America LLC. To my right is Justin Solusod, S-O-L-U-S-O-D, Concessions Manager for Sodexo.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, this is the BAM Project Republic Music Festival.
Waikiki Shell, correct?
Correct.
So, Mr. Baum, I'm looking at your exhibit B. And this is a little different, yeah, this floor plan from what you normally suggest.
It is slightly different. The only small change from actually what we did with Hawaii's Finest was two changes. We eliminated in the pool area. They requested no service, so we did not feel compelled to give them the option. So we removed the seating, the pool area. And then there's that small section that we did have licensed, and that was due more to what we were being told the size. On the other side, near closest to the concessions box office. That area, though it will be licensed, because I haven't submitted a change, will not actually be having alcohol. I understand it is still our responsibility under the licensing, but it will not have a bar. Their sales are not enough to warrant it for us. But I understand that it will still be part of our responsibility under the license.
So you'll just amend this exhibit B then to delete it? Is that what you're gonna do?
I don't know that we'll have enough time
Oh.
to amend it because it is next week. So I will take it as it is our responsibility. We won't be serving alcohol in that area. We won't zone it off. We will be monitoring the area to make sure, though, just like we do the other premises around our zoned area, we still monitor everywhere. We'll make sure we're on, but we will not be selling or serving in that area.
Okay.
So, Mr. Ba, I think, if I recall correctly, we had an issue with the backstage as well, yeah? Wasn't there liquor consumption in the staging area on the backside?
So, the backstage is not part of the licensed premise. The promoter does work with his clients and stuff like that, and then off to the side, we understand it's still our part to make sure that there's no underage drinking and stuff like that. We do communicate with the promoter, and the city and county meets with them, and we go through. On the right, there was an issue on the Hawaii's Finest. There was some changes to the floor plan, and we did meet with the investigator and figure out how to adjust that and move forward from that. He used it as a teaching moment with us to make sure we addressed all the concerns from that Friday night into the Saturday, and we adjusted based on that.
And, Your communication that was outlined in your plan, I think it was in your exhibit A. It says that, to ensure efficient communication between Sodexo, venue, promoter, and security entities. How are you guys gonna be all communicating? You guys have a central radio system to communicate, or?
So behind our Diamond Head stand, outside of the zone area, but behind the Diamond Head concession stands, we have our security officer. He's posted there with the radio for all of our entities, and then also KT Services, who we are hiring as part of ours. And then myself or Justin, whichever of us managers on site, we have direct contact to the city representative that then has direct contact to the HPD. We also have the map so we know where they're posted and instructed to go.
So you guys have a walkie-talkie system to communicate with all parties involved, right?
Correct. Not directly to HPD, but between the city, so from us to the city to HPD, back
So if there's an issue, you guys are able to communicate, whether it's the promoter, security, or you folks, or what, you guys are able to communicate amongst each other and have a good communication plan.
Correct.
Okay. Motion to convene into executive session.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye, we are now in executive session. Okay, thank you. We are now back on the official record. He's still going at it. Mr. Luke, thank you. Back on the official record. Commissioners, do you have any further questions or type of action?
I just want you guys to be mindful, knowing what type of venue this is. You know, there's Steel Pulse on there, so Steel Pulse is a huge headliner, and we know what kind of, you're gonna have a good amount of crowd up there. So just be extra mindful, specifically with other events that had happened there, and do corrections as needed. Yeah. And that's it, I guess. Okay. Motion to approve application number 20-20481.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 20, application number 20-20481 is approved.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to take out of order, agenda item, number 34. Request number 20-20476 from Keith Kiyuchi Esquire. Commissioner Lee, Commissioner Miyashiro.
Yes, I'm gonna recuse the conflict, Chair. Thank you.
Wait.
I'm good. I don't need it.
You good? Okay.
I don't need it.
Okay. Yeah.
Where's final certification? No, the interpreter.
Interpreter. Okay.
That's why we're calling it out of order.
You're right.
Yes, right.
Thank you, Mr. Kiuchi.
Okay, so,
We understand that she has transportation that needs to leave soon, yes?
Yeah.
is she here?
The interpreter is not gonna move real fast.
That's okay,
That's fine,
If
that's
that's
fine.
okay.
May think as she gets her. Oh, okay. Yes.
You know what? What if you sit there?
Help him, please.
Mr. Huge.
Yeah. All right, so this is a special situation. We're not setting a precedent. on this, Mr. Kyuchi, I just want to
I,
state for the record.
I understand, it's because
Particular
the,
accommodations need to be met for the ADA and for the interpreter to get his transportation.
thank you very
Okay,
much,
so
Mr.
calling agenda item number 34, request number 20-20476.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the Commission, Keith Kyuchi on behalf of the applicant. To my immediate left is Ratchani, R-A-T-C-H-A-N-E-E-K, Senkowski, last name S-E-N-C-K-O-W-S-K-I, and we have a Thai interpreter present.
Very good. Commissioners?
This is a request to move, my client had Pattaya Thai located on Queen Street. The property sold and it's sold to Steve Sombrero. And because Mr. Sombrero operates Aloha Beer, she was not able to get a long-term lease from Mr. Sombrero. Mr. Sombrero said, we can do a month-to-month until you're ready to move. And at that point, that wasn't acceptable. The place had a small fire. She would have had to do some renovation work. So she moved to Cook Street, if you're familiar where the old Tsukenjo is or was. The landlord renovated the whole building and gave her a lease. So we're asking that the license, and I understand it's a hostess license, but she's operated for years as a restaurant and a hostess bar. In fact, her restaurant is pretty well written up, good ratings in Yelp. So we're asking the commission to allow us to apply. This is not the granting of the license, but because of the 500-foot rule, I've got to ask for the waiver.
Okay, so for the record, Mr. Kyuchi,
Yes.
can we have your client acknowledge through her interpreter that what you have represented to this commission, so
Yes.
that she is aware of that?
Oh, you're the.
เข้าใจไหมที่ทนายเขาพูดทั้งหมดทั้งนั้นเข้าใจไหม
ก็
ถ้าเข้าใจก็ต้องบอกเขา
ดูบอกเลย
เขาบอกว่าเขาจะไหมครับ
อ๋อเข้าใจ
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Kyuchi fairly represented to this commission what her intentions are.
แล้วก็เป็นบทตั้งหน้าของแล้วก็ทุกสิ่งทุกอย่างที่ทนายบอกนั่นก็เป็นความจริงไหม
Yes. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, commissioners, do you have any questions for the applicant? Good.
All right, motion to approve request number 20-20476.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 34, request number 20-20476 is approved. Hold on, Mr. Kyuchi, now,
Yeah,
Ms.
we're gonna
Neely,
take the
please.
adjudication.
Right.
Thank you.
Let's call adjudication matter, agenda item number 48, for the same reason as previously stated. Ms. Neely.
Joy Neely, Deputy Corporation Counsel, appearing for the prosecution.
And again, Mr. Chair, members of the commission, Keith Kyuchi representing the licensee is Ratchani Senkowski. She had previously pled no contest to 2 charges. The commission set this for penalty phase, and I think the chair specifically said that, the licensee should have an interpreter present. I appreciate that. But I've had the opportunity to talk to Ms. Senkowski, so I can explain to the commission what happened, because I think the commission had some questions, but I can.
Let me stop you there, Mr.
Yes.
Kyuchi. What happened was that there was a discrepancy between what the client was representing and what her counsel was representing occurred the night of the violations.
Right.
And so we were not sure if she understood what the violations were, so that she could properly represent to the commission and answer the commission's questions as to what occurred on that night, on that evening.
I understand.
So if you will, please, what happened as to charge 1, I believe that they were not allowed on the premises, or the liquor investigators were not able to get into the licensed premises.
Right. So what happened that evening, Ms. Senkowski was not on the premises. She did not close. So she had her manager, and at that point, it was a very trusted manager.
Can I have a point of order, Counsel?
Oh, I mean, we could let Mr. Kyuchi continue speaking, but I'd just like to note that the interpreter should be given time to interpret what Mr. Kyuchi is saying to his client.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh,
Yep.
sorry.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, so just so everyone knows that the interpreter needs time for all parties to be able to interpret to the
Licensee.
Right.
so that she understands what's going on.
Okay. So,
Thank you. Thank you for
So-
that clarification.
Ms. Senkowski was not there that evening.
เวลานั้นน่ะโนไม่ได้อยู่อยู่ในร้านน่ะ
She had a very trusted manager
แล้วก็มีแมเนเจอร์ที่คิดว่าเชื่อใจได้
on the site, and that manager closed the bar that night.
เวลานั้นน่ะแมเนเจอร์เขาจะปิดบาร์
So what happened is when
เพราะฉะนั้นเวลามี
the Liquor Commission investigator knocked on the door,
พอดีเขาไปเคาะประตูนะเจ้าหน้าที่นะ
the door was locked.
แต่ว่าประตูมันปิด
The manager refused to open the door.
แต่ว่าแมเนเจอร์เขาไม่ยอมเปิดประตู
We later found out that the manager was in the premises with her boyfriend.
แต่ว่าเรารู้ตามภายหลังว่าแมเนเจอร์ interpreter asked for the last repeat
The manager was in the premises with her boyfriend.
โอเคแมเนเจอร์เขาอยู่กับแฟนนะ
So, and they snuck out the back.
แล้วเขาขับไปข้างหลังนะ
The investigator's report indicates the investigator saw two people
ผู้สืบสวนเขาเห็นว่ามีสองคน
sneaking out the back,
ทั้งเล่าออกไปข้างหลัง
and those are the two people.
แล้วก็สองคนนั่นแหละ
The question I think that was asked last time that she didn't understand
แล้วเข้าใจไหมเรื่องเนี้ย
was whether that manager was fired.
ว่าแล้วก็ชายคนนั้นเขาถูกออกจากงานแล้ว yes
And the manager was fired.
เนี่ยแมเนเจอร์เขาได้ถูกออกจากงานใช่ไหม yes
I need to stress how painful that was for her.
แล้วก็อยากจะบอกว่านี่มันเป็นมันหนักมากสำหรับหนูนะ
This was more than a manager. This was a woman she was going to make her partner.
ว่ามันหมายความว่าไม่ใช่แต่แมเนเจอร์จะเป็นแฟนกัน
She felt she didn't have a choice because
ผมรู้สึกว่าไม่สามารถ
that was not something that she would have done.
แล้วครับเป็นสิ่งที่ว่าจะไม่อยากจะทำอย่างนั้นหรอก
Thank you. And I'm sorry, Ms. Neely, can you remind me as to your recommendation for penalty for charge one?
I recommend a fine of $1,000.
Motion to approve the recommended fine of $1,000.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 48, the recommended fine of $1,000 is approved.
And as to charge two, Mr. Kyuchi.
I think the explanation applies. That was they charged her for locking the doors, and that's not something she would have done.
แต่ว่ามัน
When you say she, who are you referring to?
My client, the manager did that.
พอแมเนเจอร์เป็นคนทำไม่ใช่หนู
Ms. Neely, your recommendation.
I recommend a fine of $500.
เขาลดลงมาเป็น500
Motion to approve the recommended fine of $500.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 48, the recommended fine of $1,000 for charge number one and $500 for charge number two, for a total of $1,500 is approved. Can you, for the record, Mr. Kyuchi, have your client acknowledge that she understands the penalties issued?
หมายความว่าหนูเข้าใจไหมในการใส่โทษอันนี้นะ
เข้าใจ
yes I understand
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's go back to the agenda. So we're gonna go to, agenda item yeah, we'll take a short intermission to let. This is agenda item number 21. So just, and he can just stay out, right?
Yes.
Right, okay. And Vice Chair Gannabon, note for the record that Vice Chair Gannabon is recusing herself.
Right. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the Commission. Keith Kiuchi. For the applicant, to my right is Christopher Allen Garcia. He is the proposed partial shareholder of CKW Corp. We've read investigator's report. I've got no comments on the.
Okay, hold on, Mr. Kiuchi, you're moving too fast. Did I call at the agenda item number 21?
Yep, you did.
Officially?
Yep.
Yeah, we didn't go.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't have my number here. Okay. Commissioners?
And just so the commission knows, I will assure you, Mr. Chair, that Mr. Garcia has all of the records, because those records right now are sitting in my office after I made sure that the seller got the records to my office.
Very good, thank you very much. I mean, we have rules that we have to follow, and that's
Yes.
part of the rules. And it's not our responsibility to produce those records.
I agree.
Very
I
good.
agree.
Yeah. So with that being said, Commissioner?
Yes, Mr. Kiuchi.
Yes.
This is a very unusual transfer agreement.
Yes.
It's stating that Mr. Garcia is purchasing 1,000 shares,
Right.
but this is going to be split up amongst two different time periods.
Right.
One in 2018 and one in 2025, which is quite a bit of time in between. Can you explain why this is being done or proposed? Because this commission can only review
One
transfer
transfer.
applications that are for the transfer
Right.
occurring right now. Some of us will not be on this commission in
No,
2025.
I understand that. So this is, and let me explain why, ever since I had a specific transaction that was really painful, I've done transactions like this. Let me explain what happened in the previous transaction. Whenever there are time payments made, like a promissory note, what a lot of attorneys did was you do the transaction now, transfer the stock now, and you take a security agreement and you do a promissory note. I had an instance where that was done, and it took me 7 years after going through litigation to get the license back to the seller. After that, the way I've tried to structure these are in tiered transactions if they're basically on installment payments. That's what this is. So there's an initial transfer now, there's another transfer in 2025, and we've got to come back to the commission. So all you're approving is the transfer now, you're not approving the 2025 transfer.
But so the 333 shares that we would be reverting now
Yes.
represents how much percentage of the interest in the business?
I believe it represents 1/3, because I think there are 1,000 shares issued.
9,
Yeah,
yeah, 1,000.
1,000 shares, so the
1,000
330 shares,
So
that's
33.3%
right.
is all that we would be approving.
That's all, you're not approving anything
today.
else,
Okay.
right?
Take that for the record.
Okay, so
So we have to come back in front of you whenever this occurs. He's probably gonna pay this guy out early, and when he does, we come back in front of you the second year. I've done this in another transaction, for the very same reason.
Okay. Time will tell.
And for me, the services agreement is a bit,
And if the commission has an issue with that, we can terminate the services agreements once the commission approves the first one. Because I understand what the investigator's saying. He's saying that once he becomes a shareholder, he's got control. So I read his concerns. I don't have a problem terminating the services agreement once the commission approves the first one.
the purchase of the inventory of liquor part of this agreement as well?
It is because there wasn't a separate paragraph in the agreement that purchased the liquor, so the liquor was part of the total sale of $150,000, yes.
Okay, and for the record, we're just reviewing this transfer, and if it is determined by investigators that there has been a violation in that transfer, that we
Right.
will address that at an
Separately.
adjudication hearing.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you.
Anything else, Commissioner?
Amen.
Okay, well, we will note for the record that, my motion is to approve, transfer application number 20-20096 for 333 shares representing 33.3% of the total stock.
Right.
Yeah, I think we like the services agreement.
And if the motion is that on the condition we terminate the services agreement upon the approval, we don't have a problem.
Yes, I will revise. Motion to approve application number 20-20096 with the following conditions. The approval, I'm sorry?
Yeah, we're on no.
Oh, I'm sorry,
No joke.
21.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my
Yeah,
motion is to
yeah.
approve application number 19-14857, with the condition that the approval is only for 333 shares representing 33.3% of stock in the company, and that the services agreement will be terminated upon approval.
Second?
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 21, application number 19-14857 is approved with the conditions stated in Vice Chair Min's motion.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, let's go back to, agenda item number, come there, no,
22.
20, no, we're not going, we went back to public hearing.
Oh, we're gonna go back to,
No, you want it,
Italiana.
Come, gentlemen. Come, Paisano. Former Commissioner Magaldi, can you come forward?
Agenda item 7.
There we go, I got it right here, look. Okay, so, we do not have to identify anybody, we're just, resuming this application?
It'll just continue to later on the agenda.
Yeah, okay, so
I think there are.
we have the revised floor plan. So commissioners, if you would kindly take a look at it, and if you have any further questions, I'm sure the gentleman in front of us will be more than happy to clarify.
What do the black dots represent?
The security guards.
Security guards, okay.
I'm sorry, if I could just place on the record for calling agenda item number 7.
Oh, yes, okay. I'm recalling agenda item number 7, application number 20-20448 from Powwow, Hawaii. Thank you.
So the black dots represent the private security guards, and I also attached per Commissioner Lee's request, the HPD special duty approved application.
So some of your activities are also gonna be occurring, is at Mother Waldron Park?
Correct, that's nothing to do with the liquor permit, it's just activities for the children, for there's entertainment stage.
Okay. the street vendors in yellow, represented by the yellow line, and those are food vendors?
Correct.
Will there be restrooms as part of the event outside of your beer garden, or did you?
Restrooms?
For the beer garden?
Yes, just Portaloo is just to the Eva side of that.
They're not in the enclosement of the beer garden, they're outside of that.
Okay, so they're gonna have to go leave the beer garden to use the.
Correct.
Okay.
Can we hear from Investigative Supervisor Sato? Clarify.
Supervising Investigator Daniel Sato. If this is the final floor plan, I want to point out it's not contiguous and it's two separate locations. Therefore, there should be two applications.
So we would be approving one application for which specific area?
That would be up to the.
Yeah. You have enough time to put a request in for the second application. So what are you asking us to approve now?
Well, certainly the VIP, but certainly the VIP today. That's the most important thing, but obviously it's next Saturday.
Yeah.
I think that's why Rick initially had made the footprint the way it was, to encompass everything, so that way it would be one contiguous space, but I wanted to clarify with and what I did by submitting these documents with the commission is that, in fact, alcohol will only be served within smaller sections of the original submitted document. So I'm not sure how to square this circle, because certainly the event depends on the revenue from both those areas. I apologize for this discrepancy, but yeah.
Motion to convene into executive session.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. We are now in executive session.
Yeah, over there.
Okay, thank you. We are now back on the official record. That was very complicated, but I think we have come to a solution. So with that being said, commissioners?
Yeah. Okay, so the commission has decided that two applications will not be necessary specifically for this event. We will accept the original floor plan, and just for FYI, the supplemental information provided, the detail is where consumption will occur in the larger licensed premise.
That's absolutely correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, having said that, motion is to approve application number 20-20448.
Second.
Been moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 7, application number 20-20448 is approved. Next year, we are going to do 100% better, correct, gentlemen?
Absolutely.
We are-
110%.
Okay.
I hope
This
you guys
is
can all
not,
come and have
this is
some good
not
time
this
here.
commission's responsibilities.
Absolutely.
We
We
all
apologize for the
understand.
inconvenience.
Very good,
So
thank you.
for
Thank you.
Sorry, we're.
No.
Mr. Magaldi.
Former Commissioner Magaldi, and I didn't see on this plan The greasy pole. There's no greasy pole over here?
Greasy pole.
In Boston, every year, there's a greasy pole
Ah.
loaded with money at the top, right, Giuseppe?
You got it.
Yeah, ciao. Okay. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you.
Sorry, appreciate it.
Thank you.
All your help.
Okay, commissioners, can you help me? Where are we going now?
22, sir.
22. 22, okay. What happened to my pen? Okay, calling agenda item number 22. Application number 20-20096 from Aquarius Inc. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Naomi Cole on behalf of the applicant. Present to my right is Vice President Shoma, spelled S-H-O-M-A Shimada. We have no changes to the investigative report.
Thank you very much. Commissioners?
Okay, motion to approve stock transfer application number 20-20096.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 22, application number 20-20096 is approved.
Thank you,
Is
Commissioner.
February 8th in Aquarius?
I don't know. I'm not really into horoscopes.
you.
Except for myself.
Right on the
Calling agenda item number 23, request number 19-15379 from PDSQP Tenant LLC. Mr. Hu.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Commission members, Kenneth Hu appearing for the licensee. To my right is Alan Sasayama, S-A-S-A-Y-A-M-A, Food and Beverage Manager for the licensee. No changes to the investigative report.
So you're asking to
To expand the licensed premises because it's all in the same deck and we just want to take care of the rest of the floor. that we're on.
everybody can
Yes.
be included in that
That's
one?
correct. Make everybody happy.
Okay.
Okay,
This, excuse me, and this is the completion of the renovation work,
Yes.
right? Very good. Thank you. Commissioner?
okay, motion to approve request number 19-15379.
Second.
Then moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 23, request number 19-15379 is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's move on to agenda item number 24, request number 20-20089 from Mint Restaurant Group. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. My name is Matthew Resich, and I'm the owner of Brick Fire Tavern Mint Restaurant.
Very good. Commissioners?
Okay, motion to approve request number 20-20089.
Second.
Then moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 24, request number 20-20089 is approved.
Thank you.
Pizza and Chinatown. Okay, very good. Calling agenda item number 25, request number 20-202110 from MPK Management Company. Can we have a call for that, please?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Chair.
Oh, thank you.
The counsel for the applicant was required to leave. She has asked for a 2-week continuance. However, in 2 weeks, we do not have a scheduled meeting. So I would ask the commission to reschedule to the October 10th setting, please.
That would be 10-10, correct?
Yes.
Very good, thank you.
Okay, motion to continue request number 20-20210 to October 10th.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 25, request number 20-20210 is continued to October 10th, 2019. Calling agenda item number 26, request number 20-20387 from MNS Ltd.
Good afternoon, Chair and Commissioners. My name is Labella Romaldo, authorized agent for M&S Ltd. And to my right is Vice President Tracy Ide, IDE.
Thank you very much. Commissioners?
Motion to approve request number 20-20387.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 26, request number 20-20387 is approved. Calling agenda item number 27, request number 20-20388 from MNS Ltd. One more time, please introduce yourself and your client again.
My name is Lavella Romualdo, authorized agent for MNS LTD. To my right is Vice President Tracy Ide, IDE.
Thank you very much. Commissioners?
That's good.
Mhm.
Motion to approve request number 20-20388.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 27, request number 20-20388 is approved. Moving on to agenda item number 28, request number 20-20399 from FTC Kaimaki Partners LLC.
Yes, Chair, due to a conflict, I'm gonna have to recuse from this
Thank
agenda
you.
item.
Chair, same thing, I'm gonna have to recuse due to a conflict.
Thank you very much. I'll note it for the record.
Good afternoon, Chair, members of the Commission. Keith Kiyuchi for licensee. To my right is April Whiting Haraguchi. This is a catering request. This is the King's Luau at the Waikiki Aquarium. It's been ongoing since August 26, 2015. It operates from 5:15 to 7:45 in the evening, and most days of the week, about 150 people in attendance. And this is a request to extend the catering until the end of the year.
Mr. Kyuchi, we have here, a memo from our auditing supervisor, Ms. Akiko Reyes, noting that FEC Kaimaki Partners LLC, is not meeting the 30% minimum food sales requirement for this restaurant class. And when we say not meeting, that is a drastic understatement. Do you have any comment for the commission as to why your client is not even close to meeting 30% food sales requirement?
That's because the operation that they had initially is very different. They scaled down the kitchen, but they have since changed that. They have a full kitchen now, and they've been operating with a full kitchen for the last 2 months. From May of this year. So this year, this fiscal year from July 1st to June 30th, the sales should be 30%.
Should be or will be?
Will be.
Will be?
Will be.
For the record.
And, because you've been putting in these catering requests, how long has Champs been catering here at the?
Since August 2015, initially Champs didn't have a problem meeting the 30% requirement. I'll represent that my recollection is from, I think fiscal year 16-17, they had an issue.
Okay. I recall they've also had issues with violations for operating out of class and category.
Right.
And you're very experienced, Mr. Kyuchi. You should be able to advise them that if they're not gonna operate a restaurant, they're not gonna operate within their class and category, they have the option of applying for another class and category.
They have. They've applied, they've got a standing application that's been pending for a while for a restaurant class with entertainment, and the other class was because the entertainment. So we're waiting for the preliminary hearing on that application. That went in some time ago, by the way. So.
Thank you.
Okay, motion to approve request number 20-20399.
Second.
Been moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 28, request number 20-20399 is approved.
Thank you.
Can we have the rest of our team back, please? Wasn't in the beginning, wasn't they have a serving hamburgers, french fries and stuff like that? Way back in the stuff there. It was on like 10th Avenue, in Kalamazoo. 29, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here we go. Thank you very much. Okay, so moving on. This is agenda item number 29, request number 20-20458 from Hyatt Corporation. I will disclose for the record that I am a member of the Regency Club for the Hyatt. However, that has no effect on me and my handling of this matter.
That's good to hear, Mr.
Or,
Chairman.
excuse me, my decision on this matter.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. I'm Jefferson Beatty. I'm the Director of Culinary and F&B Operations, Highways of Waikiki. Joining me is Zubin Balaporia, Restaurant Manager at the club as well.
Thank you. Commissioners? Do you have?
Oh, I'm sorry, do you need the spelling?
Yes.
Could you spell his name? Yeah, I think we have yours from your,
Balaporia. First name Zubin, Zubin.
thank you.
And gentlemen, this is for an application for self-service of guests, correct? I'll be honest, it makes me very nervous. Self-service can be a cause for a lot of problems. So how do you plan on ensuring that there's no consumption by minors? How do you plan on ensuring, you noted here that guests may not serve themselves more than 2 drinks at a time, but not throughout the entire sitting. And so how do you intend to let, keep patrons from over-serving themselves? I have a lot of questions as to safety.
We're still going to maintain staffing in the club. So they'll be monitoring the guests. They'll be checking IDs, ensuring all of the statutes and bylaws of the commission are going to be enforced.
The serving period is for 2 hours, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m.
It says here that it'll be from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. with last call at 7:50 p.m. So are you revising that from 5 to 7 with last call at 6:50 p.m.?
I apologize, it's 3 hours.
Yeah, it stands as stated.
Stands as stated, okay. And can you maybe tell me what's the reasoning behind, if you're gonna have staffing in the lounge, why aren't you folks going to be having a bartender?
We have needs for efficiencies in the operations, and we feel that this change will be suitable for our guests.
And how are you gonna be making sure that your staff is able to monitor that patrons are not over-serving themselves?
They'll be keeping a close eye on them. They interact very regularly and throughout the whole entire time during inside the lounge.
And this is gonna be this is gonna be complete bar. I've been to lounges where you can self-serve yourself beer, but not wine, shots, and spirits. So, what is this? So it's just for a matter of efficiency?
Yeah, well, we wanted to maintain current selections with beer, wine, and distilled spirits. We are not opposed to modifying that if it suits the commission.
Is this common at your other facilities?
Throughout the company, Hyatt, it is common.
To have, including spirits, the whole,
It is.
bar.
Where is it being practiced right now? What
For
other-
Hyatt?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
What state?
Every state that Hyatt is in.
And what has been the experience rating? I mean, I know our liquor laws are different, but there's couple things, this subject kinda caught me a little by surprise. I did some research into it. Cause when I'm thinking self-service, let me ask you this first.
Sure.
When we're talking self-service, they have wine self-service type of kiosk type of thing that knows the pouring and that type of service, correct? Like whether it's, I think they have it now as Plum, they have it as Sky Bar, they have different brands that do that and can do the pourings for you. In this instance, you're not proposing that, you're proposing them to pour.
Yes.
Okay. and you're proposing on an honor system that they would correctly fill out a slip that will say, I drank 1 beer and I had 1 wine,
Yes.
right? How do you, given that this is in Waikiki and we have Japanese, we have all types of tourist industries that are coming, how do you plan on interpreting that and rolling out this plan in that? How do you plan on doing that?
We will have different languages available for to communicate this honor system, this honor bar.
And how much people can this proposed honor bar hold? Like how much people are actually gonna be visiting this, do you propose?
On a nightly basis, it could be anywhere from 100 to 200 people. But the people who partake in alcohol, somewhere in between 50 to 75.
Okay, so in this honor bar, which is the member themselves, their guests are coming with them, correct?
Only if they're authorized with the Regency Club.
Okay, so I'm a member and I'm traveling with my kids.
Yes.
Can my kids come into the bar with me?
It's all your children will come with you into the lounge.
Yes.
And inside the lounge is where the alcohol service will be.
So we will have minors present then. There's no exclusion where the minors cannot attend or.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. So how do you guys verify age?
Through our attendance in the club.
So I walk in with my kids.
Yes.
I have a seat.
Yes.
I go walk up straight to the bar. Does someone stop me and say, "Can I see your card?" or "Are you scanning me?" or what?
Yeah.
What's happening?
They will be there. They'll be checking IDs, especially if someone looks very underage.
Upon entering the lounge, is that what you're proposing, or is it just?
No, it will be in the alcohol serving area.
And how much people? What is your staffing ratio you're thinking?
We would have 3 people.
3
staffed
people to
during the
100.
shift. During the shift, yes.
3 people to 100 people there.
Correct.
You think that's an adequate staffing ratio?
It should be, yes.
Within the 3 hours of people walking in and out?
It should be, yes.
And their duties are to card, to make sure there's no overconsumption.
Correct.
And to make sure they don't leave the lounge with the beverages.
Absolutely.
In your other Regency or whatever places, is that the proper staffing ratio per square footage or what?
Ours is
on the same-
actually more. Generally, they staff about 1 to 2.
1 to 2 on a lounge that can fit about 100 to 200.
Yes.
I'm having a hard time envisioning this because we don't have a floor plan in front of us.
Okay.
So it would be very helpful if we were looking at a floor plan so that I could see where the bar area was, where the alcohol was being stored, where the doors were, so that we could see, what you folks are actually proposing to do and how the flow would happen. Because, lounges are not all created equal. Some have a lot of blind spots, some are very open. So I'm having a really hard time envisioning this, and especially, with what Commissioner Ganapan has said too, is that a ratio of 3 staff members to 100 to 200 patrons, being able to monitor everyone's consumption is difficult even when you have trained bartenders. So,
You have a hotel license, correct?
Correct.
So you technically could walk out of it's not specific to this club room. So you could technically walk out of the hotel, that club room with a
I don't know the specificities of it.
But your whole hotel is under one license.
Yes, correct.
Gentlemen, this is essentially a VIP lounge for your top tier
That's
premier
correct.
members, right?
That's correct.
The-
Loyalty, VIPs.
The time of this self-service, you also offer self-service food,
Correct.
and it's basically happy hour during the sunset.
Yeah.
And the lounge configuration has sofas, chairs, tables, TVs, newspapers.
Yeah, tables,
And then
a couple couches.
The 2 or 3 attendants, they're monitoring people as they come in, they have to sign in, and they have to show the access.
Yeah.
Access is secured with a card, right?
Correct.
Okay, and they're typically hotel guests.
Absolutely. all,
If,
100%.
if I checked in there and I'm not one of the premier members, what do you charge for access?
We don't.
No access? Am I
You have to
eligible?
be checked into the hotel.
Oh, no, let's say I'm a hotel guest.
Yes.
But I don't have a status to get in. How much would you charge?
I believe our upcharge is 125.
And then how many guests can I bring in?
I believe it's up to 2.
Thank you.
Motion to convene into executive session.
Second. Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye, we are now in executive session.
Yeah, one.
Okay, thank you. We are now back on the record. Commissioners, do you have any further questions or type of an action?
Yes, Chair. For agenda item number 29, request number 20-20458, the request is denied.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 29, request number 20-20458 is denied. Thank you, gentlemen.
Do we have a chance for appeal or modification of proposal?
This is a request, not an application, so we're not comfortable approving it as proposed. If you want to, make another request.
Vice Chairman, we do not need to explain our actions.
Okay, but.
That is
Yes,
your
you can talk to-
responsibility.
You
We're
can
not
talk to the
comfortable.
administration during office
Okay.
hours.
How about resubmitting your request,
Yeah.
basically?
Thank you very much, thank you. So let's move on to agenda item number 30, request number 20-20471 from Honolulu Beer Works LLC.
Good evening, afternoon, good evening, Commission. My name is Megan Omura. I'm the Operations Manager and Authorized Agent for Honolulu Beer Works.
Okay, thank you very much. Commissioners, do you have any questions or? Are we going into the street?
Yes, it's just a temporary extension permit, for a street event on October 12th, Saturday.
Folks have a street closure permit?
Yes, DTS approved it, they're just waiting for court to sign off on the paperwork. So that's already approved. It is a little bit different from our anniversary party that we've had before in April. Volvo did let us, use use more of the street in front of their business, so they were okay with that, as the map indicates. So it's a little bit larger, but we have more security to accommodate for that space.
Okay. So in the licensing investigative report, it says, hours from 8:30 a.m. to 10 p.m., but then it says, extension of the premises for Aloha Pride Street event from 8:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. Can you clarify?
Yeah, sorry, we're just trying to, make sure that we covered all our time because, in certain application processes before, they said to, include setup time, so we're not gonna be serving alcohol at that time at all. We are gonna be trying to shut down the street around that time, and then everything's going to be set up on the street. So there is probably gonna be, like, the bar setups on the street are gonna probably have, liquor and stuff getting set up out there, like, early at, like, 10 a.m., but we're not serving till 11 when we open.
Okay, so alcohol service will start at 11 a.m.
Yes, when we open.
And then when is service going to, be finished?
So for the street section, we are going to cut, alcohol service around 9. At that time, we're gonna basically be clearing everyone off the street because 10 p.m. is usually the recommended time for you to clear the street per DTS. So our premise license for Beer Works, is till 12 a.m. So we're probably gonna do last call at 11 a.m. inside. So everyone's gonna move inside the building if they are on the street. Sorry, it's a little confusing.
Well, yeah, and we wanna make sure that you guys are not confused. and
Right, right.
your
No, we're
people
not
are not
confused.
confused
No.
that when's last call gonna happen,
Right.
when does everybody need to be cleared out?
Right.
When does the street need to be open again?
Yeah.
Well, for the record, would you please state
Okay.
what the hours of service of the alcohol will be on the
So,
street?
On the street, it will be from 11 a.m. to 9:15 p.m.
Thank you.
After 9:15 p.m., everyone will be asked to either to vacate the street and move inside the brew pub.
And it is noted that you folks are gonna be allowing minors that are accompanied by someone who is of age?
It is an all ages event until 9 p.m. There is at the entry and exit point, there are security checking all IDs. So people over 21 will be banded appropriately. And then bartenders will be checking IDs additionally as well.
Will minors be allowed inside?
Yes, minors are allowed inside.
Are you folks blocking off the sidewalks as well? Or just the sidewalk in front of your entrance?
Just the sidewalk in front of our entrance.
So the sidewalk on the opposite side of the street is gonna be open for public
Yes.
pedestrians?
Yes.
Motion to approve request number 20-20471.
Second.
Then moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 30, request number 20-20471 is approved.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Calling agenda item number 31, request number 20-20522 from BYO Bowles LLC.
Aloha, Chair, Vice Chairs, members of the Commission, Emmanuel Ziba Kalam, here on behalf of BYO Bowles. To my right is Ted Securis. I hope I did that correctly. He is an officer of the corporation.
Thank you very much.
I can answer any questions you may have and explain the request in detail at your request.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, let's get started. You know our position on this one.
Right, you know the drill, Mr. Zibakalam. You know, we have allowed this for other licensees, but we want to know specifically what beverages, we want to know what the recipes are, we want to know, how long they're going to be kept for, when they're gonna be discarded, and all of that good stuff, so go ahead.
Of course. So the primary beverages that we're looking to do this for is going to be the Texas tea as well as our spiked lemonades. The reason for this is it's much easier to prep beforehand and then serve out on a busy night than it would be to have the prep for each of these done individually. For these two beverages, basically the way that they're prepped is they will be done in a container, a plastic container that is compliant with health code regulations, sealed, and then it has a unit measurement that allows us to see how much is used at each time the barrel, or I should say the container is moved out and the mixed alcohol is dispersed. It will be labeled on the dates of when it is used as well as the times. The alcohol for both the Texas tea and the spiked lemonades, the drinks for both the Texas tea and the spiked lemonades will be destroyed or removed after between 24 and 48 hours, depending on the shelf life of the ingredients that are put in and how they mix with alcohol. We do have a number of bartenders on staff who are versed in how to do this, but the bar manager as well as the managers of the restaurant will be overseeing this to make sure that everything is done correctly as well as safely. And additionally, as I spoke with the bartenders as well as the officers of the corporation, they will be making sure to mix the drink appropriately every time it's used from the pre-made barrel so that we can ensure the amount of alcohol that is put out is at the same constant rate as it would be if it was made individually.
And if a patron asks to have their drink made fresh, are your bartenders trained to be able to make them without these batching?
Of course. Any individual, if they request it fresh, will be happy to do so.
So actually, just point of clarification, so, I mean, the request as proposed is for a limited,
Yes,
batching, which we're,
The reason that we did that is because we're constantly developing new lemonades as well as teas, and to have it just be the singular ones that are on the menu as they rotate, I would say almost quarterly, if not biannually. It would be, for us to come in and do that every single time using the exact same methodology, we felt would not be the best use of time for both us and the commission.
How many lemonades and how many teas do you normally have on the menu at any one time?
I believe that it's one Texas tea and then how many flavored teas?
There's like 2 lemonades.
2 lemonades.
So three drinks, 3 specialty drinks at a time.
Yeah.
Motion to convene into executive session.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye, we are now in executive session.
I'm sure I'll be in until we get to that.
Public school, public school.
It's gonna try to show.
Okay, thank you. We are now back on the official record. Commissioners, do you have any questions or further questions or a type of action?
Motion to approve request number 20-20522, with the condition that you will only be allowed 3 batched recipes.
Second.
What agenda are we on? 31, right, okay, I got it. Okay, thank you very much. I vote aye. Agenda item number 31, request number 20-20522 is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We did 32, let's move on to 33. Request number 20-20449 from Wayne Luke Esquire. Mr. Luke.
My record reflect Wayne Luke, I'm making a request. This prior licensee just did not renew the license this year.
That is correct.
We did have first on the agenda. You move in second, we go on last 2 years. Okay. Okay, we're good with this?
Okay.
Yep. Okay, motion to approve request number 20-20449.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 33, request number 20-20449 is approved. Thank you, Mr. Luke. We are now going to number 35.
Yes.
Right, 35, great, I'm following right along. This chocolate is good. Calling agenda item number 35, request number 20-20477 from Keith Kiyuchi Esquire on behalf of Soup House LLC. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, Keith Kiyuchi representing the applicant.
Excuse me.
And thank you, I'll recuse due to a conflict here.
Thank you.
I've got a pretty detailed history, I think, of the premises on paragraph 4 because I thought it was needed. What's that? No, I won't go over it.
We have
I mean,
it here.
yeah.
We're ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Motion to approve request number 20-20477.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 35, request number 20-20477 is approved.
Thank you.
Let's call it, can we have Commissioner Yashiro back, please. Okay, call on agenda item number 36. This is a volume services aid, DBA center plate. This is the post-event report. Mr. Ishikawa, please.
Good afternoon. Excuse me. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, Ms. Sarai. Robert Ichikawa representing Volume Services, doing business as Center Plate.
And to your right?
To my right is Mr. Davey Moriyama, General Manager. To my far right, Mr. Roger Reeves, District Manager.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, this is a post-event report, so any questions, or would you like to tell us what happened, gentlemen?
Well,
Ring
overall,
we'll give
based
you
on
an
the
opportunity to ring your bell.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll start and I'll let Davey jump in. Overall, based on the security plan that was provided, everything went very well.
This is our first event after our previous violations, so we had some changes to our standards and our operations, so that went well. On top of that, because this is a pretty big event, we did go above and beyond what we stated we were going to do. We're happy that we had no violations and minimal incidents, and somewhere in between there was a football game.
Okay, Mr. Reed? No?
You want to add anything?
Yep.
No, I don't. It
Yeah,
went very well. I was
very
very
good. You're happy, right?
Because everything went
Okay.
well and I was
Can,
very
can we hear from enforcement, please?
Captain Fontaine, Supervising Investigator for Enforcement. There were no violations and no warnings. Everything went very well for this event.
Okay, thank you very much. So there's no action required, but let me say on behalf of the commission, we're happy because you're happy. But you have to understand, we have an obligation to protect the safety of and the health, well-being of the general public. That's why we have rules and we have statutes. And we don't like penalizing our licensees, but when you make the violations, we have no choice. Well, hopefully you can stick to this plan that you've devised with your training and with all of your security personnel and everything like that, because we do know, looking at the calendar, you have a lot of events coming to town. Okay?
I do have a question, and I don't want to belabor this, and I share the chair's comments and applaud you folks for the good effort, but is there something in particular that you feel that this experience has somehow allowed you to have an incident-free event? More security? Is it numbers? Is it what they're doing, when they're doing it?
We did make some adjustments. One of the big ones that I believe was we put some quotas on some of our security guards, or
Some
most of
what?
our quotas.
In what way?
They had to challenge X amount of people per hour.
Okay, okay.
And
Oh, okay,
it doesn't
good.
count
Yeah.
toward the challenge unless they were under 30.
That's helpful, because we, you probably know we approve other large events, not necessarily 40, 50,000, but this is helpful. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Commissioners, can I have a type of action on agenda items number 37 through 47?
Mr. Chair, motion for the adoption of decision and order for agenda items 37 through 47 inclusive.
That's it.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. The adoption of decision and order, agenda items number 37 through 47 inclusive are approved. Thank you very much. Okay, let's move on to agenda item number 49, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Siam Paradise Restaurant, Ms. Neely.
Good evening, Joy Neely, appearing for the prosecution for tonight's adjudication items. Siam Palace Paradise agreed to sign a stipulation to plead no contest and waiver of appearance.
Motion to accept the no contest plea and waiver of appearance.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 9, the no contest plea is accepted.
Ms. Neely.
This is a first violation for improper time card. I recommend a fine of $250.
Motion to approve the recommended fine of $250.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 49, the recommended fine of $250 is approved. Calling agenda item number 50, Mojo Sports Bar and Grill. Mr. Kiyuchi.
Keith Kiyuchi for the licensee.
Can I have a point of order, please? Commissioner Gannabon is excused.
We took that up earlier. Yeah.
Yep, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
I'm gonna recuse as well, Chair. Thank you.
Okay, well, we have three.
Go ahead. Okay, so this licensee has also, signed a written stipulation to plead no contest and waive appearance.
Motion to accept the no contest plea and waiver of appearance.
Second?
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 50, the no contest plea is accepted.
This is a first violation, for failure to sign out on employee records. I recommend a fine of $250.
Any comment, Mr. Kyuchi?
No, it was a employee that got used to not signing out, and that's been corrected.
Thank you. Motion to approve the recommended fine of $250.
Second?
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 50, the recommended fine of $250 is approved. Is he excused?
Yeah, for the next one. I mean, for that one, but yeah, you can bring them back in.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Can we have Commissioner Gannabon back, please?
We gotta continue.
This is different licensing.
No, but the reason she's looking at it, because we're gonna continue 51.
But that's
Mr.
fine.
Kyuchi is
That's fine, but
representing
we need to have Vice
Yeah.
Chair
Yeah.
Gannabon in.
Vice Chair Gannabon is,
Yeah.
does not have a conflict for
Yeah.
agenda item
51.
51.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why.
Only 50.
Mia
No, no.
Surprise! Surprise, I see you.
Don't worry, I know what's going on, guys.
Good girl, you got another good girl. Thank you, Vice Chair Mid.
Go ahead, Mr. Kyuchi.
Yeah, as to item 51, this licensee is on the agenda next week, so I'd like to move it, continue for 1 week, since they've got a separate violation. She'll be here and she can explain both violations.
I have no objection.
Thank you. And 1 week is okay?
Yeah, 1 week's fine, because she's gotta be here next week
Okay.
anyway.
Motion to continue agenda item 51 for 1 week.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 51 is continued for 1 week. Calling agenda item number 52, New Green Tea.
Again, good afternoon, good evening, Chairman,
Good
members
night.
of the Commission. Keith Kiyuchi on behalf of the licensee. We entered a waiver in the charge and a plea of no contest.
Motion to accept the no contest plea.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 52, the no contest plea is accepted.
Ms. Neely?
This is the first violation for adjudication purposes of an employee failing to report or sign out on-time records. I recommend a fine of $250.
What happened was, usually the owner, manager, when she comes in first thing the next day, makes sure all the time cards were checked out. She didn't come into work that day. That's gonna be corrected, because I said, you're gonna have to open and close each time unless you get
Yeah,
people to do.
this is for 1, 2, 3, 4
Four
employees.
employees.
That's like all of her employees.
That's not, it's all but one of her employees,
Right.
yeah. So
Okay,
it will be corrected, because she's gonna have to open and close each time.
Okay. Motion to approve the recommended fine of $250.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 52, the recommended fine of $250 is approved.
Mr. Kyuchi, you have any other
Yeah,
items?
55, thank you very much.
Let's take 55 out of order.
Got it. Calling agenda item number 55, Kalihi Station.
Good afternoon again, Mr. Chair, members of the Commission, Keith Kiyuchi for the licensee, waiving the charge and a plea of no contest.
Motion to accept the no contest plea.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 55, the no contest plea is accepted.
Ms. Neely?
This is the first violation of failure to have a full view of an interior room. A curtain was obscuring a karaoke window, and I recommend a fine of $500.
Mr. Kyuchi?
So what happened here is my client had a services agreement. The manager installed a curtain in front of the karaoke room, which is not allowed. My client took it down, and I'm gonna let administration know the name of the manager, because we I had another client that has same problem with the same person. So I'll let administration know.
And
because
this manager is no longer working at this?
she's no longer working, she doesn't have a services agreement, but what I wanna make sure is this lady doesn't get another services agreement. Cause
Okay.
she's done this to two of my clients.
Thank you. A motion to approve the recommended fine of $500.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 55, the recommended fine of $500 is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, where we go is back to 53. 53, is that correct? Thank you so
Yes.
much. We have Commissioner Miyashiro back on the DS. Calling agenda item number 53, Cafe Gangnan Karaoke. Almost said Ganaban. I was saying, oh, what's this? Good afternoon.
My name is Jane Kim. I'm the General Manager of the Jenny Kim Corporation, DBA Cafe Gangnam Karaoke.
Thank you. The first charge is on or about November 2nd, 2018, in the city and county of Honolulu, state of Hawaii. Licensee failed to have a duly registered manager in active charge of the licensed premises during the time the establishment is open for business and licensed to sell or serve liquor in violation of Rule 382-38.9A of the Rules of the Liquor Commission of the city and county of Honolulu.
How would you like to plead?
I'm sorry?
How would you like to plead to charge 1?
No contest.
Motion to accept the no contest plea for charge 1.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 53, no contest plea is accepted for charge 1.
Charge 2, please, Ms. Leaning.
On or about November 2nd, 2018, licensee failed to have a time card or other adequate record showing in English the month, day, year, and time indicating AM or PM when employees were on duty in violation of Rule 382-38.4A of the Rules of the Liquor Commission of the City and County of Honolulu.
Your plead for charge 2. Motion to accept the no contest plea for charge 2.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 53, 53, charge number 2, the no contest plea is approved.
Ms. Neely, your recommendations.
For charge 1, this is a first violation. I recommend a fine of $500. For charge 2, this is a second violation. There was a previous one in 2017. As such, I recommend a fine of $350.
Ms. Kim? Any explanation? Any comment?
Actually, this is totally my fault because I should have checked everything. And then the second one, the first one, they didn't notice that the card was expired. And then second one was the time card. I was going by his first name, but then he had a full name. It was like with Hawaiian, all this. So that was totally my fault. No excuse.
Thank you. Motion to approve the recommended fines of $500 and $350 for a total of $850.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 1, charge number 1, the recommended fine of $500 is approved. Agenda item number 53, charge number 2, the recommended fine of $350 is approved. Total penalties levied is $850.
Thank you for coming in.
Calling agenda item number 54, Kapolei Karaoke. May I have a call, please? Mr. Paz? No, we didn't ask you to sing karaoke, Ted.
No response. Ms. Neely.
This licensee was served on September 11, 2019. I attempted to contact them and wasn't able to. As such, I moved for a default judgment of $500.
Motion to approve a default judgment in the amount of $500.
Second.
Move the second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 54, a default judgment in the amount of $500 will be issued. Calling agenda item number 56.
Yes, sir.
Bacchus, Hawaii.
This licensee requested a continuance to obtain discovery. I have no objection I'd like to continue to October 17th, just in case he does win a contest.
Thank you. Motion to continue agenda item 56 to October 17th.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 56 is continued to October 17, 2019. Calling agenda item number 57, Sunset Mini Mart.
Mr. Chairman, Vice Chairman, and members of the Commission, I'm James A. Stanton. I'm the attorney for Sunset Mini Mart. And to my right is Leroy Jenkins. He's the president of the company.
Do you waive reading of the charge?
Yes, we do.
How would you like to plead?
No contest with an explanation.
Motion to accept the no contest plea.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 57, the no contest plea is accepted.
Ms. Neely?
This is a first violation for adjudication purposes of, it was a sale of liquor to minor. It was part of the compliance, it was enforcement operation. I recommend a fine of $1,000.
Mr. Stanton?
Mr. Chairman, members of the Commission, this licensee has been around for about 25 years. We believe this is only the second incident during that period of time. Mr. Jenkins investigated the case and talked with the employee and discovered that he did fail to card the customer. And the explanation was there were long lines, there were a lot of pressure on him to move quickly, handle the sales. It's the policy to card everybody. In fact, the licensee has received letters indicating in the past where they've been tested that that minors were refused, and they were congratulated for that. So I think a fine of $1,000 is a little heavy. But also, Mr. Jenkins would like to say a few words about his investigation.
Well, I'm here to apologize. My company's policy is very simple. Even someone my age, and I'm 71, is asked to prove their age. Even if I go to Times or Whole Foods, they now ask. So the policy is very simple. You ask everybody regardless of how old they look. So I do apologize. There's no excuse for this.
And the cashier who sold the alcohol to the minor, were they penalized in any way?
No, he's actually a very good employee. So I haven't penalized him by lessening his hours or anything. I've had long conversations with him, and he is now he's following policy.
How long has he been working for you?
About 2 years.
Also, for the Commission's information, the case against the employee was dismissed because the government didn't produce evidence at the hearing.
Criminal proceeding?
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's a separate proceeding, we're aware of that.
Yeah, well, in fairness to other licensees, because this is our compliance check that we do with all of the licensees at least once a year, and in fairness to them, my motion is to approve the recommended fine of $1,000.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 57, the recommended fine of $1,000 is approved.
Thank you, gentlemen. We
Thank you.
hope not
Thank
to
you.
see you here again for these types of violations.
Calling agenda item number 58, Center Plate.
Good afternoon. Robert Ichikawa representing Volume Services and doing business as Center Plate. To my right is Mr. David Murayama, General Manager. To my far right, Mr. Roger Reeves, District Manager. We'll waive the reading of charges and plead no contest.
Pleading no contest to, I'm sorry, go ahead, Ms.
Oh,
Dean.
just to be clear, only charge two is on, I think needs to be
Right,
adjudicated.
so you're pleading,
No contest to.
Charge two.
Charge two.
okay. Motion to accept the no contest plea.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote, excuse me, I vote aye. Agenda item number 58, center plate, charge number 2, correct?
Yes.
No contest plea is accepted.
Ms. Neely,
This is the first violation, for obstruction. Liquor Commission investigators were, prevented or at least delayed from entering, the stadium. I recommend a fine of $1,000.
Mr. Ichikawa.
Yes, we were discussing the legalities of all involved, the different parties, and at the end, you know, the licensee recognizes his or their responsibilities as a licensee. It's a unique situation where there's different agencies involved, but nonetheless, it is their responsibility. So they have taken measures to communicate with Stadium Authority so that there's a little more clear communication. And all that was really a miscommunication, or just being unaware of what would happen in those types of situations. And the Stadium Authority, I think, is working with the licensee to address that communication. And so far, more recently, there hasn't been an issue.
Ms. Neely, the language in this statute is very broad, and it includes use of violence, force, or threats. Can you explain exactly what happened?
I think this was a verbal and maybe physical obstruction.
But there were no threats of violence?
No threats.
Okay.
No threats of violence, but liquor commissioners or investigators had to wait at least half an hour before they were
Delayed.
And they identified themselves to the parking
Correct.
attendants, correct?
I mean, they were stopped twice at the parking lot and then at the stadium entrance as well.
Okay, so stopped twice and obstructed and delayed from entry.
And just if I could clarify that.
Yes,
just
of
a
course, go ahead.
One, the parking lot, I guess, again, is outside of their licensed premises, so to communicate that, they've already corrected that as well, but that's kind of a once removed area. And I guess the parking aren't, you know, trained or recognized it initially. Once you get to the gate, again, it's Stadium Authority. They're seeking to get supervision or some kind of supervisor, I guess, to clarify, because they haven't been faced with that situation in the past, apparently. So in a sense, there's no ill will or any type of intent to restrain or purposeful act. It was really a communication thing to get some higher authority to say it's okay to let them in. And again, it's been
This
corrected.
has been corrected.
Yes.
So going forward, the investigators will have unfettered access into both the parking lot and the stadium?
They continue to work with the Stadium Authority on that, yes. And we have communicated with the Stadium Authority that, you know, the licensee is the one that is held responsible, so can you please cooperate and understand the situation of law.
All respect, Mr. Ichikawa, not exactly my question. The question is, will our investigators have unfettered access going forward?
If
both
they
the
provide
parking
the-
lot- Both the parking lot and into the stadium?
Yes.
Okay.
And if they properly identify and state who they are.
Thank you.
Motion to approve the recommended fine of $1,000.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 58, charge number 2, the recommended fine of $1,000 is approved. Calling agenda item number 59, center plate.
Good afternoon, Robert Ichikawa representing Volume Services and doing business as Center Plate. To my right is Mr. David Moriyama, General Manager. To my far right, Mr. Roger Reeves, District Manager. Once again, we will waive reading of the charges and enter a no contest plea.
Motion to accept the no contest plea.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 59, the no contest plea is accepted.
Ms. Neely,
This is another obstruction charge that occurred about, violation that occurred about a month after, the last agenda item. Liquor Commission investigators were, prevented from entering, even after identifying themselves for about, 25 minutes. I recommend a fine of $1,000.
Mr. Ichikawa.
A similar situation, working with the Stadium Authority to resolve the communication. And once this violation occurred, it was very clear that the meeting needed to be set up so that Stadium Authority really fully understood that they have to try to cooperate with what our position is and not take it into their own hands as far as how they will decide on law implementation.
So after the November situation, November through December, there was no communication with the stadium authority of the first violation?
There was, yes.
And so what was the communication, and what was the if it was communicated prior to this December 7th, what was at fault at this time?
I personally communicated with the stadium manager. I don't think it got down to his employees. So the second one, I made sure it went down to employees. Also on that part too, when there's promoters like the major rager that happened after this one, we talked to the promoters to make sure that was taken care of, as well as with the Rams, so they shouldn't have had any problems getting in.
And I think after that first meeting, it was assumed that they would take care of it and talk to everyone down the chain. Apparently, and we're not privy to what they did as far as their end, but it may not have reached down to the employees on the bottom. So again, the communication didn't go all the way down. So after that, we met again and made sure that it was communicated all the way down to all employees.
So how will we be assured that it was communicated this time?
It went to their staff meeting, and I made sure they said it in their staff meetings.
And then their staffing it's mandatory all of their staffing attend, or you got different shifts happening different times?
They have multiple trainings, so it's part of their trainings now.
And you attended all of those?
Not all of them, but it is part of their procedure. I did go through one of them.
One?
Yeah.
And do the employees know how to recognize a liquor commission investigator?
Yes, by their badges. We gave them the badges. In fact, I think this last one through the Rams, there was somebody who said they were with the liquor commission and they weren't, so we got pictures of all the investigators' badges and the pictures of them.
Okay, so I have one question. So at each event, are the stadium authority employees the same, or do they rotate different events? One event they may have 20, next event they may have 40?
Yes, and they do a briefing before the event.
And they do a briefing before they, so that everybody is well aware that when our investigators seek access to the licensed premises, that there'll be no obstruction and they won't be blocked.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion to approve the recommended fine of $1,000.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Agenda item number 59, the recommended fine of $1,000 is approved.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Agenda item number 20, liquor administrator. Do we have any issues? Meeting adjourned.